I'm currently learning how to create a full stack app. So why not learn full stack and at the same time make something useful for people? So I make a plan on what I'm going to do, which is what I'm going to talk about today. So let's go. I already have experience with front end, which leaves me with back end. Same as front end, back end also have many languages that comprises it. In front end, there is HTML, CSS, JavaScript, React, Angular, etc. In back end, there is Node.js, Express.js, MongoDB, MySQL, Django, etc. All of these languages have different functionalities. In the front end, the functions include building the website foundation, styling, routing, and functionality. In the back end, the functions include creating endpoints for routing from the front end to happen, making databases where you store data, etc. And when you combine both functionalities, backend and front end together, it is called full stack. You can combine different languages from both front end and back end in any way you like, but most people tend to follow a structure, which is also known as tech stack. The common tech stacks are MERN, MongoDB for database, Express.js for creating endpoints, React.js for front end, and Node.js for the language of the back end. Min, basically same as MERN but replace React with Angular. Ruby on Rails, which uses Ruby on Rails, CSS, HTML, and JavaScript, and so on. For this project, I will be using MERN. I have experience with front end, but I have zero clue on back end, so I needed to learn the back end part before I can make the full stack app. But you may be asking, where are you gonna learn this from? Good question. I learned it from my next favorite programming YouTuber, NetNinja. Bro is still my favorite because he got me into programming in the first place. Anyways, NetNinja have a playlist of course, where he teaches how to create a simple blog app using MongoDB, Express.js, and Node.js. Inside it, you can basically learn the fundamentals of using Express to set up your endpoints or the URL of certain pages you want in the website or app. Then you can learn how to render out a simple page of the blog without using React. Lastly, you will also learn how to use MongoDB to add data into database, retrieve data from the database, update and delete the data in the database. Basic stuff. After learning all this, I decided to implement it by creating a simple fitness app where I learned how to use Express.js, MongoDB, Node.js, etc. just to learn the routing and stuff. And when I face any challenges, I just ask ChatGPT for help, and that's how I recommend you guys to learn. So on to the main part of the video, the main project itself. The reason I want to make a finance app is because I saw my friend struggling to type and calculate the salary that he earns. So basically, he does part-time work, which is paid per hour. So what he's doing now is calculate the total amount of hours that he's working that day, and then calculating the total amount of money that he earns that day. Then you calculate the overall total, including tax or bonuses, etc. Imagine in a long time, you will have a Excel sheet full of numbers and days and stuff. So let's fix that. I asked him, if you were to use a finance app, what do you want inside it? Or any app ideas, lol. Then I put what I responded into a notebook. He said, see total amount, something like Excel. Have the ability to add jobs, include hours, pay rate, etc. Calculate the pay, and have the ability to filter out what jobs done at the end of the month, calculate the taxes, bonuses, total earn, etc. Ability to add graph, and whenever you work, you can choose what time to what time. Then the app should include a homepage. We can have the ability to add jobs, which can input the details of the job, and then you can save, so that every time you add job, it doesn't really have to repeat the input details. So the next time that you want to input the jobs, you do not have to retype the whole thing again. And at the same time, at the homepage, when the user click on the save job, you can just input the working hours, which then calculate the amount that day. With these ideas, I started to plan out what pages should be in there and then what routes that should be included inside. In the homepage, I want to include 3 things. Number 1, a job tracker to track the jobs and the salary earned that day. Number 2, an expense tracker to track expenses. And number 3, a monthly tracker to track the amount earned and spent monthly. And I started with the job tracker first. When the user clicked on the tracker, I want to direct them to the page with the list of jobs and where they can add a job. When they want to add a job, they will be prompted to ask about their full-time rate, part-time rate, bonus, employer contacts, etc. Then going back to the job tracker page, when they click on the job, it will lead to 2 different paths, whether they are doing part-time or full-time. For full-time, the page will look something like this, where they can see the graph of their total monthly earnings over time, their total earnings per month, employer details, etc. For part-time, the page will look something like this, where each day is kinda like a nice card where you can add or remove. Also, each displaying the relevant details. And when the user is working for that day, the user will add, which will then prompt with the start time and the end time, their break hours and the break pay, if they are paid in during the break hours. This is just a first plan, no plans are perfect. And with that plan, I will start building, which is gonna be the next episode. So yeah, this is the plan for my finance tracker project. Anyways, just my opinion. Bye.